So, what the heck is going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo? So, if you have been following the news, you know that all is not well down south. Well, so many years ago, the Europeans decided to divvy up Africa amongst themselves. When you umesoma history, you have read about Otto von Bismarck and the Berlin Conference, if I'm not wrong, whereby European powers met to decide how to divide Africa and African resources amongst themselves. The land we call Rwanda and the land we call Democratic Republic of Congo fell kindly to the Belgians and the Germans. And when the Belgians and Germans were divvying up these two countries, they so happened to cause the problem we are having today, actually. So what they did is that the Belgians divided Congo, what we call Congo today, DRC today, and what we call Rwanda today amongst themselves. When they did this division, some people of Rwandese origin, the Banyarwanda, that's what they call them today, were left on the side of DRC. And it has been that way to date. Now, the problem is that years later, when these countries gained independence, the people of DRC or the governments that came to power in DRC never really accepted these people of Rwandan origin as Congolese, and they never treated them fairly. Now, these people also happen to inhabit the eastern part of Congo, which is awash with a lot of natural resources. I'm talking gold, diamond, cobalt, copper. Every single conceivable, expensive or important mineral resource you can think of can be found in eastern Congo. So, when these people, who are mostly of Tutsi origin, settled down in Congo, they were never really accepted by the people of Congo and by the governments of Congo, and they were treated fairly. They have been maligned for a very long time. This and other factors led to the rise of rebel movements to fight for these people. Now, keep in mind that this is a region that is rich in natural resources, so a lot of rebels disguise their fight as a fight for liberation, but they are really after those mineral resources. You know how it happens when these kind of things are at play. So, historians have documented at least 120 rebel groups in the eastern part of Congo over the years. In 2009, one of the bigger rebel movements sat down with the government of Congo, or rather a grouping of some of the bigger rebel groups met up with the government of Congo, and they agreed that they made some agreements. This happened on March 23, 2009. The agreement was that the people of Banyarwanda origin in Congo would be recognized and would be treated better henceforth by the government of DRC. They would be seen as equal citizens, they would enjoy equal rights, they would enjoy safety and security from oppression. One of the provisions of that agreement was that some of the members of the rebel groups would be absorbed into the Congolese army. This is in March 23, 2009. I'm repeating this because it's going to be important going ahead. So when this agreement was reached, it was expected that it would lead to people putting down weapons. It would have led to, let's call it an armistice of sorts. But the government of DRC did not do what it promised these people. So, in the meantime, these people, the rebel groups, still maintained active wings of their own, even after some of them were absorbed into the Congolese military. So they kept a separate wing. Now, in 2012, one of these rebel wings, one of these rebel wings from these coalitions broke apart and formed what is called now, you are hearing about the M23. It's a grouping of rebel groups that argue that the accord that was signed in 2009 has not been fulfilled. And they rose against the Congolese government and they adopted the name M23. This is an echo to March 23, 2009, when this agreement was inked. So now, in 2012, M23 seized the city of Goma. That's the biggest city in Eastern DRC. It's an important trade route. It's an important area for these mines and all these things. A very big center for these kinds of operations over there in DRC. So what you are hearing today about the advancing of M23, that is now the backstory. So M23 is a group that agitates for the recognition of the Banyarwanda in Congo. This group is fighting against the Congolese government and has been making inroads towards Kinshasa. This group has the tacit backing of Rwanda President Paul Kagame. Hence the reason you are seeing rising tensions between Paul Kagame and the president of South Africa, because the president of South Africa has men fighting for the Congolese government against M23, while Paul Kagame is a serious backer of M23 because of their Rwandese roots. Yeah, so that is a conflict in the DRC in a nutshell.